I wanted to get on here today and kind of just talk about how spirit is moving in my world. One thing I can say for certain is that spirit has always shown me that she is on my side. And if you are a chosen one to heal your bloodline, you're going to have to go through whatever the people in the bloodline went through. That when our loved ones leave here, they leave an energetic imprint behind, whether it's that's an imprint of trauma, it can be an imprint of just depression, anxiety, just never climbing out of a hole. They can leave all kind of energies behind. And yes, there will be a chosen one that is strong enough and has enough endurance, and have a high enough endurance level to travel through all the things that the bloodline has went through and successfully make it out on the other end, because the goal is to win in the end. And basically I can just say that there's a lot of things that's happening in my life right now. Spirit has led me to see that my purpose here in life is basically to heal people, to show people how to heal themselves. So anytime that I'm doing anything in my life, I like to know that spirit is involved in what it is that's taking place. A friend of mine, invited me to come on a radio show, and when I came on, the song that was playing is a song called "Move Mountains," by Andrea Day. The maybe like 4 days prior, I had posted that song on social media because I went through that stage of loving my husband through Parkinson's and what he was going through, and that song reminded me of our struggles together, moving mountains. No matter what happens, we're going to push forward. And that was a song that I just recently posted on my Facebook page, where there were these African American women dancing to the song, called "Move Mountains" by Andrea Day, and I tagged my mother in it. So I always like to make sure everything is in divine planning, and spirit showed up and showed out today. She showed up and let me know everything is in right on schedule. Everything is right on schedule, okay? And I wrote down kind of like the things that happened today. I'm going to put my Facebook link down below. That way you guys can go to my Facebook page and check out the video, where these African American women, they're dancing to the song "Move Mountains" by Andrea Day. It's really beautiful, the way they come together, and they're talking about love, peace, harmony, supporting one another, all the things that, really is the desires of Mother Gaia, and Mother Earth. And so, but that was one of the things that happened when the radio show first came on. It was singing "Move Mountains," and I'm gonna let you guys see all of that because I recorded the whole show, of course. I didn't leave that out. But this platform, they invited me on this platform at the beginning of a Women's Appreciation Month. And my book is called, and one of the hosts of the show, she let me know this afterwards. She said, "Girl, you was on that show talking about a vegan vagina is a magical vagina. On Women's Appreciation Day, at the beginning of Women's Appreciation Month." And then also I was on this platform doing this planetary alignment that's happening right now, where Mercury just joined the whole crew of this planetary alignment. So it was all in the planets and everything, me looking for this sign. And then another sign that I got is it was done in the month of Pisces. And Pisces is all about feminine energy, women empowerment, working with the emotions, the water sign, all of that good stuff. So that, of course, me being into horoscopic astrology and all of that, that really was huge for me. And the women that host the show, their name is Akila and Lynette. Again, I thank them for allowing me to grace their platform with my presence. But basically, yeah, it was a beautiful thing that I was able to get all these signs to let me know, okay, this is where you're supposed to be right now, because I look for that. I definitely look for that in anything that I'm doing. Spirit, are you along the ride? Are you along for this ride with me, or is this just something that I'm doing? Because we got to know sometimes, there are traps that are being set for us. People can set a trap for you. They can appear to be wanting to help you, and they're really trying to embarrass you and make you look bad. So, I asked Spirit if this was something that I'm supposed to be doing, a platform that I should be getting on. And I already knew that whatever I do, I'm going to ace it, and that I'm going to do my best. though at the same time, I like to know that spirit is involved and that spirit is, in the planning with this. And so spirit showed me all the way around the board, that she was in the planning, with all of this. Actually, and also my husband, passed away yesterday. So the anniversary of my husband's passing was March the 5th. And that was, and I had a really emotional day. I even spoke about, my love for him on social media, which is something I haven't done for the anniversary of his passing. I've only done it for like birthdays or anniversaries, but never for the anniversary of his passing. But for some reason, I felt like a portal open of, us both being in perfect communication, in alignment with our purpose. And I just wanted to give him a shout out and a congratulations to, him making it to the levels he's been able to make it, to, as a God and as a divine being. And so, to know that, I was on this platform the day after, as far as like, he's stepping out the way so I can step to the forefront and do my thing, because I got a lot of things that I'm about to do. And it's helping the community, especially with wellness, and keeping our vibration high, because we have to help Mother Gaia and support this earth. We got a bunch of negative Nancy's. We got enough people that's negative all the time. Like, they don't have a positive bone in their body, and if they did, they got to dig for it. We got enough of that. So now it's time to change this frequency and lift the vibrations of this planet. And assist Mother Gaia in what she's doing, so that she can do for us. And so that's where I'm at with it, with everything. Though when I got on the platform today, I was able to talk about my husband. I was able to talk about, my journey into veganism, and, what that looked like for me. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. So I'll be sharing basically a recording of the video, and but I'll have something entertaining that you guys can watch as you're listening, so you're not just sitting there staring at a blank screen. But yeah, you guys, I thank you for coming along this journey with me. I thank you to my new subscribers. If you could put a comment, let me know who you are, what it is you would like to hear me speak about. I'm always willing and ready for new ideas, because I'm going to have a lot going on in my life. Just like I said, there's a lot currently happening, though I don't want to speak about anything until it's done. Though, you guys, it's a good thing. It's a very good feeling for me. I worked on my cookbook for years. While my husband was still living, I was working on my cookbook. And my husband passed away in 2022, so I've been working on this cookbook for some time, as well as the other books that I've published just recently. So, I'm just glad to be able to finally get these projects out, and be in alignment with my healing process, in regards to my grieving and all of that stuff. Everything's happening right on time, right on schedule. And I'm really thankful to the Great Mother for that. I'm really grateful. I can just say I'm in a very grateful space. And so, with no further ado, I'm going to move out the way and allow you guys to hear. And yeah. I'll be back. That we have each other, that we have each other, and we will rise, we will rise, we will rise, oh, we'll rise, rise, rise like the day, rise up. In spite of the age, I will rise 1,000 times again, and we'll rise up. I like the waves will rise up. In spite of the age, we'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. You.
Good morning. This is Women's Voices on KPFD 88.1 FM, serving Lakeport and around our beautiful lake, and streamed at kpfd.org. This is Akila Markowski with Lynette Kirkwood and Terry Kiplinger. This is a call-in show. The call-in number is 707-263-3435. To our listeners, we remind you that the opinions expressed on this and any other KPFC program are the opinions of the speaker only. Those opinions are not necessarily the views or opinions of KPFC, its members, staff, or supporters. We reference our information sources as necessary. So I will continue with the Did You Know segment. Today I'm sharing from, Eric Kopich's book, Black Pearls, which was published in 1999. There are daily meditations and affirmations for every day of the year. And today I'm sharing the one from March 6th. And this is about perseverance. This quote is from Faith Ringgold. I am inspired when I walk down the street and still see people trying. A lot of them look as if they're on their last leg, but they're still getting up somehow. How dare we give up, break down, and roll over when so many people who have it worse hang in there? Yes, we do become discouraged, and no one can compare his tragedy or his secrets to ours. Perhaps our threshold for pain is lower than our neighbors, so what do? We must always look for inspiration. Reading about others' travails and how they vanquished prejudice, poverty, ill health, and every kind of disability can restore our faith in the human spirit, particularly our own. It's natural for our spiritual batteries to run down at some times. There's no grace in that. But it's up to us to recharge them so that our will to fight, to persevere and win is strengthened. This is KPFD 88.1 FM. You're listening to Women's Voices with Lynette, Akila, Lynette, and Terry. And we just heard from Cheryl and Nida. They come on every 2 weeks and give us updates on what's going on in the Bay Area and in Gaza as well, and other places that they report on, and we appreciate their reporting. And now we're introducing our special guest, Kasima.
Thank you for the introduction. Greetings, people. Thank you for having me. My goal today is basically to focus on wellness and how I began on my journey, healing myself and teaching others to heal themselves. My experience began with my husband, who was dealing with Parkinson's, and he ended up passing away in 2022. But my experience and my challenges in loving him through that, I found that there's natural remedies for everything pretty much. On that journey of loving my husband through those different stages of Parkinson's, it forced me to take a closer look at solutions that are natural and holistic. And so my mother actually began me on this journey with the basic knowledge of knowing your blood type, whether you're A and a B, because we have to eat according to those our blood type. And so as most people do, I felt defenseless when my husband was diagnosed with Parkinson's. Just like many other people are, we feel defenseless. And I knew that my only power was in knowing that the great mother, our higher power, said that there was a natural cure and remedy for everything. So there began my journey of basically learning my magic, honing my skills and knowledge in regards to natural medicine, herbs, using life force energy, aka Reiki energy, to heal myself and my husband. And of course, with all of that came healthy eating. And I'm an extremist in whatever I do. I go to the extreme. So of course, healthy eating to me meant going all the way, whether it was vegan. Even being a vegetarian was not enough for me, because I found that with Parkinson's, it begins in the stomach, and anything that causes inflammation can either prolong the progress of the healing process. But my husband, he was not a big fan of letting go of the red meats, the sugars, the rich creams and things. He was a chef and learned to cook by his grandmother. So he liked a lot of the richer foods and expensive alcohols, things that basically cause inflammation. And so it was kind of like a battle between me and him, me trying to cleanse his bloodstream and, get reset his body so that he could, live a healthy life, even though he was dealing with the symptoms of Parkinson's. And so I started making healthier meals. That's how it all began. I began making healthier meals. It started off as vegetarian and just cutting down on the red meats and things. And then it went into me just becoming a full-fledged vegan. And my husband actually was the one who told me that I should create a vegan cookbook because he said my creations were so delicious that I should make a cook, that I should do a cookbook. And so it's a huge blessing that I was able to get this cookbook out because I believe there's power in knowing that you can heal yourself so that you don't feel defenseless. There's a natural herb and healing for everything. And what I was realizing with my husband is that he needed to, you know, basically to detox his body from all heavy metals or, different poisons that can accumulate in our bloodstream, mercury and things of that nature. But in the end, he ended up passing on, though I continued forward with my studies. Which led me to my cookbook called A Vegan Vagina is a Magical Vagina. And in this cookbook, it's not just a cookbook. It also teaches you how to maintain optimum health through different therapy, biooxidative therapy, healing through the meridian points of your body, and also being able to just know what's going on inside of your body through like the iridology chart. I don't know if anybody have ever had experience with having their eyes read. So it's a wealth of information in this cookbook as well as 50 recipes, for you to, have a healthier meal for your family, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It has desserts and all the good stuff. So, yeah, and it also teaches you how to align.
Give us an example of a really cool meal, like maybe a soul food dish that you transferred to vegan or something like that.
Well, basically, I've learned to veganize everything in my kitchen. So, what's so exciting about this book is that the pictures inside the book are of actual things that I've created. Whether it's from soul food, Jamaican, and I tried to make it to where we had a nice balance of desserts and main courses. Say when I began my vegan journey, I started to I looked into stores a lot more than anything to see what was out there. And I realized that it's better to make my own things. So I began making my own cheese, my own milk, and things like that. Just like I said, I could be a little extreme and people would tell me that. But yeah, I began creating my own cheese, my own milk, with the sea moss and things like that. Though I just really want people to understand what this cookbook is. It's about, making healthier meals, whether it's soul food or whatever nationality you are. Though it's also teaching you how to align your chakras, and to heal through sound therapy. It's not just about what we're putting in our mouths. It's about the frequencies that we're allowing to be around us. And, as I told Lynette this morning, today that when I got on the line with her, I was using my tuning forks, to just tune my frequency before I get on the call, and create that balance within my body. And so, I like to just speak on that because I don't want people to just believe this is just a cookbook. No, this is a cookbook that's going to teach you how to maintain that optimum health. It's going to teach you how you can heal yourself through biooxidative therapy. You can heal yourself from cancer, lupus, and I don't like to just throw these things out there. They've been healing people through biooxidative therapy for a very long time. And that's basically using 35% food grade peroxide to cure the body of just multiple diseases. And they've healed over more than 10 million patients in the past 70 years, let's say, through this treatment.
Could you just explain what bio?
It's biooxidative therapy, and it's basically using 35% food grade peroxide. And there's different ways that you can use this. It's called an ozone treatment. They have different ways to administer it. You can administer it through taking it orally, which is the way that I have tried it. And I mean, it's like a miracle. It's inexpensive for one. And hydrogen peroxide increases, the oxygen. And the hemoglobin dissociation. So basically, you're sending oxygen to your blood cells. This is what you're doing, just to make it real simple. You're sending oxygen to your blood cells. Disease cannot exist where there's high level of oxygen. And so when you think about it, when you're eating fruit, which is actually instead of using H2O, we should be drinking H302, which comes from breast milk and natural fruits. And so basically, this is what the biooxidative therapy does. It sends oxygen into the blood to basically clear up any disease or any type of ailments that may be going on inside of the body. And so go ahead.
Can you do that with exercise?
Well, exercise helps to increase this therapy, because as you're exercising, you're pumping blood throughout your body, and which helps the peroxides to disperse. I found that when I've used it, when I was going through different things, that when I exercise, it sped up the process. It quickened the process of me healing.
Kasima, let me ask you a question about the H302. Is that three hydrogen and two hydrogen, H2O, but H302, I think that's what you said. That would be 3 hydrogen and 2 oxygen. Is that what you said?
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
I mishear you.
Yes, ma'am. And basically, this has been shown to, even if you have something as simple as acne, allergies, asthma, bronchitis. I mean, there's a long list of ailments that this therapy has assisted people in, healing themselves from. And I know a lot of people know about Dr. Sadie, but he even spoke on this. He didn't speak, he more spoke on healing yourselves through food. On a cellular level, though, he did mention this, and the more I dove into it, I was in awe. I was in awe, because I was like, "Wow, are you? Hey, they make a lot of money off of illnesses, and hydrogen peroxide is like 50 cents. Hydrogen peroxide is like 50 cents a bottle. So,
but can you take that internally? Because I've used it as a mouthwash or something like that, but I've never taken it internally.
Yes, that's the way I've used it. And there's actually a chart that shows you how to gradually allow it to get into your body, because just like I said, I'm an extremist. So when they told me to do one thing, I did something else, and it worked. Of course, I just kind of listened to my body. Though, yeah, they have you started off with smaller doses, just putting in like an ounce of water. You start with 3 drops, and then you graduate to 4 drops, and up until you're at like 25 drops. And depending on your ailment, you can stay at that 25 drops or decrease it. But just going through the increase and decrease of the oxygen in the blood, it has been known, and there's testimonies of people who have healed themselves from this. And me, myself, personally, has helped people heal from things. One lady had breast cancer, and we basically, it was almost a year before she even started seeing progress, because it was hard for her to get off of the inflammatory foods, and she liked to smoke cigarettes and all the things that were bad for her. Though when she started sending oxygen into her blood, she did a grape cleanse, and it's called a mono cleanse. And you basically just send oxygen to your blood, through your blood, and you're eating one type of fruit, so that way your body doesn't have to try to adjust to anything, depending on how aggressive of an approach that you need towards the ailment. Though you do this for 60 to 90 days, I would recommend. And you're going to see, well, what she saw was that her breasts that were leaking pus from the cancer before it began to heal. Her body began to, when you send your body oxygen, um your body will heal itself. It's kind of like a guy spoke on flooding a basement. If you allow a basement to flood, if the water stays in there long enough, the walls are going to start deteriorating. The floor is going to start lifting up. Things are going to start changing in that basement because of the water. And so when you're flooding your basement as far as your body, you're sending, you're eating a lot of fruits. And I say fruitarian cleanses are the best when healing your body because you have more of that H302 in fruits than you do in vegetables. Unless you're juicing them, you can, create that liquid. But at the end of the day, I just found that when you're feeding your body the correct things, eating according to your blood type, your body will heal itself. It has struggles, of course, when we're doing a lot of things that's not compatible with us. And
how do you find out? How do you find out what your the correlation between your blood type and the types of foods that you should eat? Where do you find that information?
There's a book that my mother had introduced us to when we were younger. It's by a Dr. Amo. I believe, I hope I'm not chopping his name up, but you can look up a book. It's called Eat Right for Your Blood Type. And now I believe he's coming from more of a.
What? I think I might have that book.
Yeah.
Eat Right for Your Blood. I think that book is here in my library. Okay.
Yeah, and we all have different genetic makeups, and so he's speaking for his genetic makeup is what I've learned, because of some of the things that I know now about A blood types. He says it's compatible with me, but I know it's not. So he's talking about for his, because he's European, and I'm African. So that, so right. you have to when you're healing yourself, you want to know your blood type as well as what's compatible with your genetic makeup and who you are. And so yeah, so basically, I wanted to introduce, healing on a cellular level to people, and which inspired this cookbook. I definitely learned a lot, loving my husband and trying different things, in an effort to heal him as well. And so I felt, this information is very important, because what I realized about myself as I studied is that I didn't even know my own body. There was things that I didn't know about myself that is very important, when it comes to knowing your lymphatic system and the lymphatic system, and how if you take care of the endocrine system, basically everything's going to run like a well-oiled machine. Though it was almost like putting a puzzle piece together, a whole puzzle together, when it came to just knowing my body. And so, yeah, I would like for everyone else to have that, feel a sense of power when their loved ones are sick, and not feel so defenseless as if there's nothing that they can do, because there's always something that you can do.
Yes. Did you give us the name?
It is true, because it took me a very long time to know what kind of foods I could eat and how my body reacted to them.
Yes, because sometimes you're feeding your body things that are breaking down your cells instead of building them. And once, what I've learned also is that when we were younger, they were so really quick to take our tonsillitis, and then they would always take the appendix out, which is the dumping ground and the sewer for your lymphatic system. So if you don't have your appendix or your tonsils, it's basically your lymphatic system doesn't have a dumping ground. And so
I'm glad I have both.
Yes. And so and of course over time you experience health problems. And so my best bet when it came to me and looking to get more information is to study on your own, because people will tell you anything, and from what they know and from what they've studied. But it's always good to just study on your own and find out what's most compatible for you.
And before we go on, would you give us the name of your book?
The book is called A Vegan Vagina is a Magical Vagina by native Dr. Kasima El-Amin. And you can get it at I have a website. It's at amagicalvagina.bigcartel.com.
Give me that title one more time. A magical, go ahead again.
A Vegan Vagina.
I have that.
Is a magical vagina. And I would also like to say that a lot of my mother had told me, in regards to the title, that it could be, depending on what era you're from. She said the title might be a little more comfortable for the millennials. Though it's all about womb health. There's nothing, there's no negative or sexual incantation when it comes to that. It's basically about womb health and knowing that the womb is a very sacred place. And the better that we're taking care of our bodies and our womb space, the better our performance will be in life. When it comes to even our chakra system, the root chakra is in the womb. It's in the womb, and that's where a lot of trauma is held and
man.
things like that. And so, this is all about chakra health, womb health. It has nothing sexual in regards to that, because my mother said even men might look at it a certain way. Though I needed to take the negativity off of the word vagina. The vagina is a beautiful thing that has created life, and basically, when it comes to animals, humans, we are the creators. The womb is the creator that can bring other energies from one dimension into another, and so it's a very powerful space that should be spoke about more often. And so I wanted to promote womb health, and the title basically, screams that.
And women need to be more careful in how they use their womb, um, in ways that are very negative or can be perceived as very negative.
Amen.
And not covering it up and protecting it in the way it should be protected. That's my view. Maybe because of my age, or maybe because I see it as something that is sacred and should be protected and honored and well respected all the time.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you have a question, Lynette? You all go ahead. I'm going to write a couple of notes here.
Mm-hmm.
I suggest getting that book and trying those recipes, and we can also adjust recipes to the way we like them. We don't have to make them exactly like the book, but I know Kasima can cook, so I worry. What do you call it? Compartmentalized.
Yes.
Right.
We are not little boxes all together as a box that makes up a human. It's more like circles, I see it. That we're all connected. It's the interconnection. And then we're all connected with each other. What's happening? That's why people are fighting. And if we avoid all that negative activity, we'll be healthier as well.
I agree.
Yes, and I can honestly say, when it comes to the magnetite crystals that are naturally in your brain, when you're staying on it, when you're holding a frequency, not just when you do the tuning forks, you need to make sure you're holding that frequency, because that connects you to the magnetic fields of the universe. And when you're not connected, that's when all that depression and anxiety come in. We have crystals in our brain that connects us to this magnetic field in the universe, and when we're throwing foods in our body and around negative energies all the time, that can disconnect you. So, yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned the tuning forks. Ironically, my husband mentioned some tuning, I think, bowls last night, and that he want us to get. And so, is that along the same line as the tuning forks? You get the bowls and you use the forks to tune them?
Yes. I actually have all 7 bowls.
Yet.
My husband gifted me all 7 bowls for all 7 chakras, and the tuning forks. Yes. Basically, we have different frequencies that we vibrate off of depending on our genetic makeup. Me, I vibrate higher off of the note C, or like whether it's on the piano or horn, any type of musical instrument. I vibrate higher off of a C, so he got me the C set. It's the set for all the C's, and he got me the 4096 hertz, which benefits it enhances your crystals if you have a lot of crystals like me, but it bridges like the gap between heaven and earth. So like mind and spirit, it bridges a gap between mind and spirit. They call it like the Jacob's ladder. I don't know if you ever heard of Jacob's ladder. So it kind of connects you to the earth's frequency. And then another one he got me is 4160, which connects you to like a pillar of light of truth. And anytime I use this frequency, there's like an illumination that happens inside of me. It's like I may have been feeling a certain way before, which was on a lower vibration, and it rises me up. It's kind of like you can see a hawk, how it can fly higher than all the rest of the birds, or shall I say eagle. The higher it goes, the ego, the higher it goes, the lower frequencies cannot touch me when I use this tuning fork. It's like I float away. And then the highest one is 4225, and I call that the stairway to heaven. I just call it a stairway to heaven, because anytime I use those tuning forks, it just takes me somewhere else, into like another dimension. And they say it connects you, it gives you a deeper connection to the angelic realm, and it allows you to ascend and make higher connections with your higher self. So these are the three that I use. And they're the they're the C note, the hertz. And so what would I say? You're reprogramming your DNA, because our DNA holds memory. And so when you're using these tuning forks and different things, you're basically just like a sound circle with the healing bowls. The sound frequencies are basically healing your DNA. And so and allowing you to tap into things like Akashic records, things that are ancient that you never even thought of.
Right.
Yeah, so the tuning forks are very powerful for me. It's my go-to for just anything that may be going on with inside my body. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're going to talk more today about what he wanted, and he mentioned I think it was 7 bowls, and it was getting kind of late, and I wasn't as alert as I usually am, so we will talk about that today and see about ordering what he suggested we should get, and so I appreciate you bringing that up as well.
Well,
Because that's what
Kashima,
got my attention.
please tell us how we can get in touch with you and how we can get your book.
So again, you can get it at the a magical vagina .bitcartel.com, or you can give me a call at area code 916-330-9230, and I can either send you the link, or we can have a further conversation in regards to the book. And
Yes, too, and you're on YouTube. Why don't you tell everybody where they can watch your show?
oh yeah, also on YouTube I have a channel called A Vegan Womb is a magical womb. Yeah, a vegan womb, as like your womb space. A vegan womb is a magical womb. And basically that channel I created because I wanted people to be able to have contact with me if they were a different blood type and they had questions in regards to how to create a meal. I do it on the camera for you. I've been trying to get some footage on there, some content, so I can kind of give you a one of the videos actually is talking about all of the cookies, crackers, chips, all the things that I eat that are dairy free, soy free, gluten free. Everything I do is gluten free, soy free, dairy free, sugar free. So everything's gonna be always free of anything harmful. So I do that on my vegan channel, and then I have another channel called Get the Tea on Me Royalty. Though I mainly want to promote the vegan channel because it is in junction with the book, and I would like for people to know that it's not just a book that I'm throwing out there. I would like to connect with the audience and my readers, and allow them to speak further with me about my journey, and help them along the way, hopefully with theirs.